What's poppin', YouTubers? East New York's finest, hosted by Mike. What's going on? It's been a busy week. I did do a couple of videos, but I didn't like them, so I didn't post them. Um, Real quick, I think I went early in the week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, to Red, White, and Blue. I don't even remember what I brought. Oh, excuse me. I don't even remember what I brought, if I brought anything. I'm pretty sure I did, but outside of that, I brought two storage units this week. My daughter helped me with one, and then like 2 days later, I brought another one, and I got some video games out of the one she helped me with. A big duffel bag with two PS4s, which is ironic because last week I got another unit that actually had the same exact two different model PS4s in it, and some games, and it was ironic that I got the same exact thing in another unit. With the is this called Oculus or Iculus or Oculus? I think Oculus. Um, and over 30 PS4 games, along with a white Xbox One. I wound up keeping one of the PS4s with some of the titles that I'll play because I'm gonna bring that PS4 up here and play it. Put it up here in my office. Decided to go ahead and do that. That's something I've been wanting to do for a minute. The other stuff I did take to the show. I showed it to one person. Person didn't want it. Only because they have video games there, but the price I wanted, they just thought it was crazy, which is ironic considering that they wanted fucking 200 for a used. Was it a used? Was it 3DS? No, 2DS. A used 2DS Mario edition with the box. They wanted 200 fucking bucks for that damn thing, and the lady's like, "Oh, that's too much," and I was like, "Too much?" I said, "Sweetie, you're getting a PS4 with over 20 something games. You're getting a fucking," and I said just like that, "You're getting a fucking a white Xbox One, and you're getting the Oculus, and I'm only asking you for XYZ, and you're selling a fucking 2DS Super Mario for $200 with the box, and you're talking about my shit is too much." I said, I understand if you want to pay nothing for it and then turn around and go and do like all the other hypocrites do, but that's ridiculous. So all the rest of the day they gave me a cold shoulder. I don't give a fuck. I call shit for what it is. I don't like people trying to take advantage, let alone take advantage of me. I'm the kind of person, I'll buy something for $15, and if I can get 25 for it, I'm cool. Sometimes I want to break an even or just making a $5 deal on something, depending on how big it is or whatever. But even the shit I get from my man Lev, I don't pay. You know what I mean? It's not like I get the shit for a steal. I mean, this guy, Lev is like what, almost 70. The fucking guy's been doing this stuff. I mean, forever. You know what I'm saying? And you think he has a big, I ain't gonna put his financial shit out there. You think this guy's got a huge store in the city and got two warehouses because he's an idiot? I mean, we've been friends for years, for almost 30 years, but that still don't give no excuse on why he would give me shit for free. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen, and I can respect that. You know what I mean? Because the feeling's mutual. Just you can separate business from personal and still not, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, man. But I pay for my stuff. I mean, I get great deals on it. I mean, I get better deals, and I happen to be able to go to his places where it's an area he don't want nobody to know about. And of course, I knew this guy for a long time, so the trust is there. But anyhow, let's move on. So yesterday, a guy by the name of Barnaby, I finally got his name instead of always keep calling him the heavyset white dude, which is not polite. His appearance has nothing to do with me being disrespectful. Just that you try to identify a person of the for their attributes and whatever. Like somebody would say, hey, Mike, Mr. T, the balding, old, cranky, ugly black guy. Who looks like a fucking gorilla. I mean, who knows? I won't. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But and I remember Barnaby because I remember Barnaby Jones, because I always forget his name, and somebody asked him yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, Barnaby, Barnaby," and I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then later on, like last night when I was doing the other video, I was like, "Holy shit, that's right, he did say Barnaby, Barnaby Jones. What the fuck, you know?" And I was like, "Why that name Barnaby sound so familiar?" Then when I got home and I'm doing a video, and in the middle of the video, I'm like, "Oh shit, that's right, Barnaby." It's funny, but anyhow. Normally I mean, I do get on him a lot, but he can deal with constructive criticism. You know, he's a quiet guy. I mean, some of his prices are fucking outrageous on stuff. He's kind of like a whiz when it comes to like fixing shit and trying to, you know, he does what he does. But the thing I like about him is that he's very honest. You know, he's very polite, very soft spoken, very honest, but he can be very expensive, and a lot of his stuff do be busted up and this, that, and the third. I didn't mind this one piece being how it was, only because it's hard to come by and it's going to be displayed anyway. It's going to my collection, so I don't really give a fuck. But he did tell me about it. Then this other guy who, the reason why I didn't have the same spot I had last month is because I could have had that same spot, but I wanted that wall. Eric knew that. And that's TP Eric, not Fam Eric. TP Eric stands for Toy Promoter Eric. Or Toy Show Eric, whatever you want to call him. So the guy who comes in with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he likes that particular wall, and he had two items. Well, one item, and then the other item. About 3 hours later, I was like, "Oh snap! I gotta have that comic." And this guy was just hounding me, like all this over fucking 20. Like, if you that desperate over $25, God, what are you, a fucking dope fiend or something? Like, damn, bro. Like, he was really getting on my fucking... And he knew it because I was getting agitated. And I was about to say, oh, listen, keep your shit. Leave me the fuck alone. But I'm a man of my word. But will I ever buy something from him again? I would either A, pay him right on the spot for it so he'll leave me the fuck alone. And or B, maybe not. Because I really don't like being hassled for something I'm telling you I'm going to buy. I'm a vendor there. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. Relax. But, you know, he was just like... I wanted to back smack this fucking guy. Like, literally, he was pissing me the fuck off. And I'm like, yo, dude, relax. All right, man. Like, I was doing that, and he, oh. You know what I mean? But anyhow, so I did have some loose toys. Barnaby didn't want it. He only took a couple pieces out of it, but we did a trade. I gave him cash and these 3 items. There's like a RoboCop guy with a RoboCop motorcycle. There was like a couple of like Dino Rider pieces. One little Dino Rider figure. A pterodactyl, and a couple little, I think 1 or 2 little miscellaneous parts. And I put a cheap price on it. I put $50 on it, and I put 25 on a RoboCop thing. He wanted it, so it must be worth more. But I don't, you know, I'm the kind of person, I don't care if something, you know, if I get what I want for something, I don't really give a flying fuck what it went for or whatever. I do that all the time, because sometimes people come up to me and be like, hey, why'd you sell it for that much? You know this is worth X, Y, Z. And I put them in their place. I say, well, if it was worth that much, why you didn't buy it? Oh, I'm not into it. I'm like, well, you know what? You keep your comments to yourself then. Just like when somebody come up and they say, oh, I think that person stole from you. I'm like, why you didn't tell me this when it was happening? Oh, well, I didn't want to get in the middle of it. Then, you know what? I'll keep an eye out on them from now on. But you know what? Keep your fucking opinions to yourself. And I say it just like that because it's like, if you're not there to help the situation, I don't need you there to fucking, you know, escalate a fucking situation that you could be wrong, or you could just be a bitter asshole who's just jealous, or, I mean, who's just envious of me making money. You know what I mean? You never know. And, you know, me being a nigga from East New York, Brooklyn, you know, we speak our fucking mind. And, you know, I think the nicer somebody tries to be to you when they first meet you, I just think they're up to something. And when somebody keeps looking at you a certain way, they're up to something. Now, you got to watch certain people because people are creeps. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, so I didn't do anything Saturday. I did a couple of run around, and I think I went to Petco, and, you know, I picked up, my daughter kept bugging me. She moved back in the house, 25-year-old woman, and she kept bugging me for another lizard. So I know she liked leopard geckos, and they had a sale on them. So I got 2 leopard geckos for under $40. Nice looking ones. So the bearded dragon, the enclosement that I have for it was in the garage, and I was gonna sell it when it gets warmer at my garage sale. So I brought that back out, and I forgot that I actually had a chameleon enclosement that I got from Columbus, from this older white guy, and I think I paid like $25 or $30 for everything. And there was the triple dome light for it, and I actually brought one for like $80 in Petco. So I took that back because I was like, oh shit. So I took it out of there, and I, you know, did that on Saturday. And yesterday after the show, you know, we needed, we need a dog food for Spike, and my son's been buying it for months. So I was like, you know what, I'll just buy his food, because the food we get is something science, and he has a sensitive stomach anyway, and he's older dog, so I know which food to get from that specific dog brand. So that's what we got. And but yeah, going to the toy show, had a couple of hiccups, got into an argument with some creep. Guy was an asshole. And that was it. A lot of people just asking how much is this, how much is that, but they weren't really buying. So I did get some G.I. Joe stuff. Like, this is mine. This is the Cobra Devastator. And Barnaby actually had this. Only thing that his was missing, I think one of his missile tips was broken. Like I said, he does get a lot of stuff that's busted up, and he sells it, and he actually makes money on it. I don't know why, but to each his own, right? This is mine though, and the gun actually broke off of it because I had to glue it, and I had a couple of missiles, but I need the antenna for it. And anything that's red on this one and the other one, it looks like a sled. They are extremely fragile, very, very fragile. And yeah, so this is mine. So he had one for $35, and I think his is just missing the antenna. He got the antenna piece, but the actual antenna itself is gone. Let me tell her, I'll call her right back. So, well, this is his. So I had extra missiles on this one, which is mine. So all I did was just take the missile out. These are very, very hard to find. They're not cheap at all for this little damn thing. So I know it's easy for me to get the antennas. So I was like, hey, I know I have one, and it uses the same one this one does. They both use the same antenna, same exact missiles, same exact gun and everything. So I was like, yo, you know what? For $35, fuck it. Now all I gotta do is just get the two antennas for both of them and call it a day. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. So to pay $35 for one with more missiles, and you can't beat that. So there you have that. So I got that from him, and then this is actually his shell, because I actually have the hammer, and this thing is weird, because I've been looking online all night yesterday, and I realized that the price has dropped on this a lot, and I was like, oh snap, because this thing used to be around $200 to almost $300 for a complete one, but now I see a lot of parts and stuff selling for a lot cheaper. Now this is the one I did get off of Barnaby. He did have the tank. He had one of these. He also had the step piece. He had 6 missiles. 3 of them were the silver ones, and then 3 were the regular ones. And he also had the steering wheel, which the steering wheel sells for around $25 to like $40, depending on who you're buying it from, just for the steering wheel, because everything that's like that weird green, like that grayish green color, is very brittle on this piece. This thing is infamous for breaking. So it is missing the tripod. It didn't have the tripod. It didn't have the ammo belt. It didn't have obviously the hardest things, the easiest things to break, which are the actual gun mounts for the side. But he had $90 on it. And mine has the decals and stuff on it. So all I did was just basically take stuff off of his, and whatever had better decals and whatever, I just basically switched around. So I have a more complete hammer than not complete. Technically, what am I missing? I'm missing the hardest parts on this to find is the gun mounts. I'm missing the gun mounts. I'm missing 3 of the missiles. I obviously have the that goes right here. So I just need the little ammo belt thing that goes there. The tripod. I have both of the side guns in here. So, I'm missing very few things, but now, you know what I mean? So that $90 is not bad, but he gave me a deal. He gave me a real good deal on, I mean, well, he knocked off money because we did a trade. Like I said, he took the stuff he took. So I got, I was able to basically complete more of my hammer. Again, also getting this. So 90 for this. Well, 90 for that one. What was this one? This one was 35. I thought that was really cheap, even though, I mean, they go for 60, 70 each if you can find them, if they're complete. Even though his wasn't complete, still in all, not bad. I mean, I'm a guy that, sometimes I do overpay for stuff, but you know what? If you're buying something for you as a collection, there's no such thing as overpaying if you're a collector. If you're a reseller, then yeah. But if you're going to buy it for yourself, then no. So this is really, really nice. These things are very, very hard to come by, man. Intact. I mean, you find a body. The body is the easiest thing to find on this. It's like finding a frostbite or airtight of somebody in a little, going to the flea market or thrift shop. There's certain figures you find too often, and that's the same thing for this. Like finding this is very easy, you know what I mean. But finding the parts on this isn't. So being that he had it, it was like $90. So when I saw it, I grabbed it quick. But that was a couple hours after I told him to put this to the side for me. So this I know I needed, and he did tell me that, oh well, he did a lot of construction on it. But I'm like, dude, I'm gonna I don't play with these things. It's for show. It's for display. And everybody knows Night Force stuff. Now, about 4 years ago, this guy named Pete, he used to set up with a guy named Raj, and now he was setting up with a Italian dude named Jerry. But now they still boys, but they separate each other now. I guess they do their own thing on the side or whatever. But anyhow, he had a fucking big box, 2 boxes of Night Force stuff, and he sold everything for $750. Back then, I knew I should have brought it, and I still, every time I think about it, I kick myself in the ass ever since. But this was $150, and even though he did a lot of gluing and stuff on it, this is going to show how cheap and idiotic people at these Jersey shows are, especially the monthly shows. I mean, if you're a G.I. Joe guy, you got to be a fucking idiot. Whether this, I don't care if some of this stuff was missing. I don't care if it's visibly shown. You got to be a fucking idiot to not pay $200 for this, let alone $150 for this. I mean, what kind of? And I said, what kind of fucking morons walk by you and not buy this? And he just went. And I'm like, and I said it in front of other people that was standing there. And one guy was like, wow, the guy said morons. And I said, yeah, people here are fucking cheap. I mean, I don't understand what is it with New Jersey people, and they love the fucking window shop. I'm a New Yorker. We go out, if I'm gonna spend money to go, I don't care if it's $5, $2. If I'm going in somewhere, I want something out of it. I'm not walking around to buy a fucking $5 item. I'm walking around to get shit. And if I see something I need for my collection and I know I have the money in my pocket, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to sit there and play games like, oh, I'll get another one. You can't think like that when it comes to certain things. You know what I mean? Not everything you want to sit back and be like, oh, I'm going to get one. Because you never know. You might not. And, if I have the funds, I'm not going to sit there and Jew a fucking person down. I'm going to buy it. Because I need it for my personal collection. And now, I understand maybe $150 is probably too much for it if you're going to resell it. I'm not reselling this motherfucker unless I sell a whole collection. I still got to get more Tiger Force stuff. I think I have all the Python Patrol stuff. I got to get all, I got to finish all my Tiger Force. I got to finish my Night Force. And I got to start working on the Sky Patrol shit. I got all the figures. I just need all the vehicles. So I'm getting closer and closer, because here it is. Like I'm virtually almost the beginning of 2024, and I finally got my first G.I. Joe piece that I truly needed. That's significantly I need for my collection, and that's the Night Force Night Blaster. I believe that's what it's called. So yeah, I was like, dude, I don't care. It looks presentable, and I'm cool with that. He said, no problem. So we made a deal. So I gave him that stuff, and I only had to go $200 out of my pocket. And on top of that, he had these individually he was selling. And as you see, it says $50 on it. And it is the blueprint for the Night Blaster. and he actually said, you know what, I'm gonna throw this in, and I was cool with that. I was like, hell yeah. So he threw in, and you see is individually priced. I mean, it's his shit. Some people might say, damn, for 150, he should have threw that in. I'm gonna tell you like I tell anybody, you don't like a person's price, don't buy it. I dislike when people make comments because people like being condescending. And you don't like a person's price, don't buy it. Don't sit there and get, and like the guy that I got angry with yesterday. There was this guy is known for not walking. He likes to walk around, ask prices, knowing his broke ass don't have no money. And he's like, there was a car, and I was like, oh no, that's my son's. And then he's like, oh well, it shouldn't be in here then. And I went the fuck in on him. You know what I mean? Like people, I go in on, he's like, man, we're not gonna do that shit here. And I was ready to put my foot up, and I told him that. He's like, oh, is that a threat? I said, motherfucker, it ain't a threat. That's a promise. And I was about to tear this motherfucker up in there, and people had to get in between us, because everybody knew he was gonna get his ass whooped, probably including him. But man, listen, I don't give a fuck if you crippled, if you're old, you disrespect me, I'm gonna be disrespectful back. And my first intention on being disrespectful is to get physical, because I'm a physical person if I have to be. Anyhow, now going back to the turtle kid, the kid that was fucking haggling me for $25 fucking dollars. You know what I mean? He did have this, and he was like, oh, he wanted 15 for it, and he's like, yo, I would do, I'll give it to you for 10, because look, it's like this. And I'm like, well, to be honest, these are loose like that. That's just the way the design is. And I said, the only thing you got to worry about is the colorations and stuff. And I said, this is actually in really good condition. He's like, nah, I don't care, man. $10 is yours. I said, hold it for me. I'm going to take it. And, so that, and then this book I thought was pretty dope, and he had 15 on it, and he actually gave it to me for 15. I had to pay 15 for it, so he just said, you know what, dude, just give me $25 for both. And I was like, all right, that's cool. But he was fucking haggling me for hours. Yo, bro, you still want that? Yo, bro, I'm like, dude, it's $25. Relax, I got you, man. Let me just do what I'm doing, and at the end of the day, I got you. It's sold already. Don't worry about it. He just kept fucking going on, and I got to the point where I was gonna tell him, yo, my man, listen, keep your shit, man. But I'm a man of my word, and I did need this a lot more in the book, and again, this is going to my collection. So I got a transformer I needed for my collection, which is not an easy piece to come by, and I wound up getting the Night Blaster, and I wound up completing more of my hammer. And I wind up, getting more stuff for my Devastator, because again, those parts are expensive for this thing. This thing is like 60, 70 bucks by itself. You know what I mean? Just that one. So this goes for around 50 to 70, and this goes for around that. And I mean, of course, it's more complete, but again, I mean, look at them. All I need is the antennas now. So, yeah. And they both take the same antenna, so the antennas are like around $20, $25 each though online. And I think one time I seen one that was re-glued for fucking 15, and I didn't take it. So I need to. I do have a little composition book that is downstairs somewhere. I gotta bring it upstairs because I left it down there one day, and I need to get it so I can start crossing off stuff that I have and need for this and that, so I can finish off, because it's sad. I'm about to go on 4 years now, 3 years or something like that, of the G.I. Joe, and with all the money I spend on other stuff, my G.I. Joe collection and Transformer collection should have been done. And I still need stuff for this. And technically today I'm supposed to get ready to go to Lev's warehouse, but I got some stuff I kept dragging back and forth to, to the flea market and to this toy show, even though I might be setting up at the toy show next month. I'm just going to take some stuff to Dave. I'm going to call him now and tell him I'm on my way. Actually, let me do that now, because he said he opens at 11, so he might not pick up the phone because he's probably still... I just seen a post of Linda Hamilton. I hope she didn't pass away. Give me 1 second. And let's see. I want him to know I'm coming because I don't want him just to. Because he probably gets there around 10:30 or something like that. So he should be open or opening. Or he's probably walking around turning lights and stuff on. Who knows? So let's see.
Thank you for calling Hidden Treasure located in the...
Okay, let me call his personal phone. Like I said, he's probably turning lights and stuff on. He probably has his phone on him, or I don't know. Let me just, because I don't want to go. I don't want to go drive. I don't want to go drive up to Livingston, and you know. But yeah. Yeah, that's about it, y'all. Oh yeah, and you guys see behind me my Hot Toys stuff. He probably has his phone on Ringo, or he probably has it up front. Cause I want to let him know first, because if he don't pick up or say nah, don't come today or whatever or XYZ, I'll just unhook my trailer and go straight to Lev. But yeah, this. I think Thursday a Haitian guy came by and he brought some furniture I had on Facebook Marketplace, and yeah, so this I got out of a room over a month ago. This thing weighs about 150 pounds easily. It has like acrylic wheels with real thick tempered glass and metals. So yeah, Isaiah and Michelle helped me bring it up the stairs from the first floor to the second, and then from the second I just took my time, using the stairs and my strength to bring it up here, because I have carpet, and it wasn't easy because of the angles of the steps and this, that, and third. But I'm a pretty strong guy, but it was a bitch to get in here. Plus, I had to do it a certain way, because you got glass, and then somehow I think these rods are glued to the glass somehow, and then you got this. So you have to hold it a certain way so you don't snap, because it's heavy. So you know what I mean? So it was a pain. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get this thing down the stairs, but whew. But anyway, I went with this because I was like, you know what? I can still display all this stuff, and I can put out my Back to the Future Hot Toys, DeLorean, Doc Brown, and Marty McFly. I almost said Emmett Smith. I don't know why. Why that name just came to what's it called? And of course, he has Einstein right there. So this is what I got from Mike Lev's, one of Lev's workers. I mean, this guy, he buys a lot of high end shit too, and he saves and holds a lot of stuff too. So these were actually brand new, still sealed. I was actually contemplating, but I said I brought it to display it, so I didn't buy it to make money on it. Because if that was the case, I would have never took them out. But they were brand new, never touched. He gave me all three of them for a great deal. I paid $1,500. That was the brotherly family discount. $1,500 for the three of them. And again, that Marty McFly came with Einstein, and then that Doc Brown is the one that come. I don't know. He's gonna come with some shit or whatever. Then of course the DeLorean. And now I'm a Back to the Future 1 guy. I never really liked 2, and I don't like 3. So I don't really need no DeLorean from Back to the Future 3. And I mean, it would be kind of cool to have the hovering DeLorean from Back to the Future 2 with him, with Marty with the hoverboard, maybe, just because that Barbie hoverboard is like a pinnacle of the 80s. And it was just dope as hell with him wearing the Air Mags. And I actually had original pairs of the Air Mags, and I had the newer ones, and I sold them both. I should have kept both. I'm talking about the real sneakers, because I was a huge sneakerhead, and yeah, I sold them. Now them fucking original Air Mags, I think now like $18,000 to $20,000. When I got rid of them at like just under $7,000, which was like stupid. But I needed the money, so. And I got them for retail, so, and I wore them, and I actually wore them, so it is what it is. But and I wore them 3 times. Very uncomfortable sneaker, very fucking uncomfortable, man. Very, very uncomfortable. The second one I just brought just the whole. I held it for like about a year, and then turned around and sold those. I mean, those weren't worth really shit, but yeah. So that's that, y'all. Let me go. Peace.